What cracks first, the silence or the story? Decorated playwright Haresh Sharma has spent decades confronting hard truths through theatre. Over a simple Teochew fish, I unveil a few recipe secrets and we explore characters, courage, and the stories that shape Singapore. This is HOTPLATE SG60. Haresh, welcome to HOTPLATE SG60.
Thanks for having me.
Wow, it's a great honor to have you on HOTPLATE SG60. Your plays are well loved in Singapore. And actually, the first question I want to ask you is, what is the purpose of the playwright in Singapore? What do you think?
I think, theatre is very important, in part of the artistic landscape because theatre is closest to the audience in the sense that we are performing live in front of people. And, the actors can feel the vibe of the audience, can feel the energy of the audience. And so the playwright is like the first step. So you write the play, and then after that you go through the rehearsal process, and then the performance gets staged. So it's like the choreographer.
Why do you want to be a playwright in the first place? What are you trying to achieve as a playwright in Singapore?
I think I didn't know I wanted to be a playwright. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to do something creative. I think when we are of that formative age in school, we all, have certain ideas of things that we enjoy more than other things, right? It was only later when I was at university that I realized I wrote my first play, and then when I felt, hey, this is very different from like writing poetry or short story. This really feels right. It feels correct. Like it feels like something I want to do. But even then, I didn't know how can anyone live being a full-time playwright. So it was just a lot of different circumstances and, series of fortunate events that led to me being able to be a full-time writer.
What gives you the urge to write a new play? Is it you have a feeling you feel outraged after observing something? Because I realize a lot of your plays are full of conscience and social commentary.
I care very much about Singapore. I care very much that we are living in this tiny island, and we are all of us 5 million or whatever, and that we have a relatively short history in terms of the contemporary Singapore theatre. We have relatively unknown identity. Like, who are we besides our accent? It's a bit difficult to tell what we are. And I think that's what theatre is also good to do. It's about finding our identity, finding our voice, finding, like you said, the conscience. The conscience is because, like for me, I care what's happening in society. I care if there's like racism, inequality, prejudice, and I want to write about these things.
And you have been doing this way before it became a thing. It's a thing now, right? It's like off-center, 1993, right?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, you're talking about mental health at that point of time. But in those days, if you had a mental health problem, it would be like, what is that?
Yeah.
Suck it up. Right?
Exactly. And so there wasn't much help. There was a lot of prejudice, a lot of stigma.
Yeah.
People were hiding their family members who had mental health issues. Don't go out. The media also didn't portray them very positively. Whenever if there's an issue, they always say, "Oh, ex-Woodbridge patient does this," or mentally ill person does that. So then you kind of deepen the stigma in the public, right? So at that time, when we had this opportunity to write a play about mental health, we just said yes immediately. We interviewed patients, ex-patients, social workers, and even the name Woodbridge was so tarnished. People would laugh at it.
People would say, you send you to Woodbridge, or you should be in Woodbridge. And
so
absolutely.
Then a few years later, they changed the name to Institute of Mental Health, which is more neutral.
Okay, yes.
But so a lot of younger people, because this book, the play eventually became a school text.
Yeah, you seemed like you're prescient.
in a lot of the issues that surface much later. I mean, how is that so? I mean,
I think it's not so much prescient lah. I mean, I think when you are interested in issues, then you start to look at the trends. You look at what's happening in society, and you start writing about them maybe before other people or before it kind of catches on. And when you are writing it, you don't know 20, 30 years later, mental health is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I have friends who have, kids in schools. And sometimes they say things like, oh, schools don't want to talk about these things. Because when you mention mental health, you have to mention the dark side of it. You have to mention that people think about, suicide. People think about unaliving themselves, and people have dark thoughts. And if you don't want to talk about this in school, then what else is mental health? You can't just say, oh, let's everyone just watch this video and be happy. You have to invest in it. You have to really get everyone together and have these difficult conversations. Yeah.
Are we a society that bottles up our feeling? Are we a society that is too stressed? Are we after the wrong rainbows? Money, obsessed with money and material needs.
It's all kind of connected to the society we grew up in. One of the things about Off Center is that the main character, Vinod, he's part, he sees himself as being part of the rat race. And he says that I've been running and running in this rat race, but what happens to an injured rat? Like when you cannot run anymore, how do you still find value in yourself? And I think that's the problem sometimes when we are told from a very young age, you have to be the best at this. It's almost like, where is the joy of just being yourself?
Of living, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about Singapore always being touted as racially harmonious and religiously harmonious? Do you think it's true or only true to a certain level, or we have a long way to go?
I think it's probably an aspiration. Like when we talk about the pledge and all of that, this notion of racial, religious harmony is an aspiration in a sense that it's good to have. It's good for us to work towards it. But I feel like working towards it is what needs to be done. We can't just assume that it's going to happen, or we can't be blinded by the fact that it is already happening. The different people that you ask will have different ways of seeing things. Some might say, we are perfect. We got mosque here, we got temple there, we all live in harmony.
A very superficial...
But some people might think that is not, what harmony is. So, or some people might feel that they have been the brunt of racism, and they kind of feel like, oh, we need to have more conversations about it. But again, we are such a hush-hush society that we don't want to talk about issues like that.
I like to take off on this hush-hush thing that you mentioned, because a lot of your plays, showcase or imply that Singaporean society is such that we only present the shiny side of things. And beneath there's a lot of tension and turmoil. Is that what you think Singapore society is? That we only present the best sides, the shiny side of Singapore?
I think, I guess every country does that. I'm interested more in the complexity of characters.
Okay.
So when you're a character, about 10 years ago, I wrote a play called Model Citizens, and it's about 3 women.
Okay.
One is the wife of an MP.
Okay.
One is a housewife.
Okay.
And the third is the domestic helper of the housewife. Okay. So the story begins because the domestic helper's partner, who is a Singaporean, went to see the MP to ask if they can get married, because domestic helpers are not not allowed to get married. Yeah. And what I found writing about it is that all 3 women I'm trying to make them very complex. Like, why are they here?
Yeah.
The play is called Model Citizens.
Okay.
Who is a model citizen? Is it the wife of the MP? She feels sorry for this poor girl. Is it the employer who's just leading a quiet life, living a life of grief because her son took his life, and so she's just trying to overcome that. And then, this happens with her domestic
Yes.
helper, or is it the domestic helper who is trying her best to stay in Singapore and doesn't want to be sent back,
Wow.
because of what has happened.
Wow.
And so they have all these different conversations, and it goes into relationships, it goes into society, it goes into, feminism and women.
Just listening to your synopsis, my brain is
Yeah.
like, okay, it raises so many questions that I wouldn't have asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I like about writing, because you kind of start to create the characters, and you start to create their backstories,
Yeah.
and then you put them in situations of pressure.
Yeah.
How do they respond to this? How do they respond to that?
他没有得到 MP 的 benefits，我也不像你一样，我没有得到 MP 的太太的 benefits。
你 love 他，我这是在保护你。
What's the feedback from your audience about your plays when they see one of your plays?
Kenna, how do you get away with this? Like, are you allowed to say such things?
Okay. What is their emotional response? Right? I know you
no,
gave a
no,
very,
but-
I know you gave a very Singaporean response.
Yeah.
Kenna.
No, but it's important because
yeah.
they've never encountered anything like that in Singapore. They watch whatever they watch. They've never watched something
Yeah.
like this, where Singaporeans are talking about issues that go so deep
Yeah, I
that
get it, I
it
get it.
shocks them into realizing how can this even be possible. It shakes their core, because they think that we all live in a world of self-censorship.
Yeah.
So it is very emotional
Yeah.
for them, because they have entered this world
Yeah.
so deeply
Yeah.
that they wonder, how is this conversation even happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you think it has made a difference? Your place has made a difference?
I think it has, because there is a currency. Like, I'm still writing plays and performing. Some of my plays have been at done in schools. We went through decades without much Singapore writing in the curriculum or in the syllabus. So the fact that people are studying plays like Off Center, or there's another play of mine, Don't Know Don't Care, which is in a lower sec literature text. And so that is really very good, because nowadays I get people, when I meet somebody new, they might say like, oh, I studied your play, or oh, I taught your play, and that, like, for me, it's like, there is a whole reality, a whole generation of people that I don't even know. Because
Whereas
all these
in
things,
our generation, we were reading colonial literature, right?
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
So
right?
then when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, maybe there is some impact.
Yeah.
There's some impact in the sense that, it's, my words are being taught in school, my characters are being discussed,
Yeah.
people are having conversations about issues that I've written about.
Yeah. So in this series, 60 episodes we are doing, is actually, I've been asking the question is, what is a Singapore identity? Then I realized that if anybody wanted to know what the Singapore identity is like, in all its multifacets, they should read your plays, right? Because in many things you hit the nail on the head. Because I was having this conversation with a professor from NUS. He's an anthropologist, and he's just saying that Singaporean identity is not there yet. It's so fluid. It's not exactly Singlish, because Singlish is spoken differently by so many different people, right? What are your thoughts on Singapore identity?
Part of me feels that our identity is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
There's one part of the identity which is the very kiasu identity, because you don't want to lose. You are told to study hard all the time, do well, get A's. And I think that has gone into our blood in some way. So when you meet someone that is not like that, it feels as if something is wrong with them. But actually, maybe something's wrong with us if we think that way. Because it doesn't just affect school and education. It affects a lot of things. You mentioned mental health issues. It also goes into how we create a play, how we respond to each other. Because even though when you're creating a play, doesn't mean you have to push each other so hard. You can also take a break. You can also, have decent conversations, have moments to reflect. I think one thing that is not our identity, but I think that we should go towards an identity where we have more compassion and understanding and tolerance and not so pressured all the time to produce results. So I think that, and when
So the
someone like me,
reality-
because I go off the
Yeah,
beaten track, right?
Okay.
So for a long time, people were looking at me like some kind of weirdo, like, why are you not on the path like the rest of us,
Okay.
where you'll be earning this much and
Okay.
doing this and that?
Okay.
And I'm like, no, I'm happy with my lane.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I think, doing this series, I've met so many people. Sure, those of our generation, we were taught this way. But, a lot of the younger generation are very different.
Mm.
They are just saying, hey, I'm going to do my own thing. But, looking at the younger generation, a lot of people are just saying, no. And I need my sanity. I need my work-life balance.
Yeah.
No,
And I agree
yeah.
because, I used to go to schools to give talks on off center. And when I see the young people, I can tell that they are more aware of what's happening in the world. They're more aware of what's happening in terms of the whole idea of mental wellness. They support each other more. Like if somebody, for example, if there's a classmate that is not well,
yeah.
they will support that person. If there's a classmate that is like maybe effeminate or something like that, they are behind his back. They have his back. And so you can see the solidarity
And sensitivity, right?
Yeah.
I realized that the younger generation are much more sensitive to the pain of others.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's great, I mean, you had that 30 years ago. You were highlighting the pain of the marginalized, the minorities in your place.
Yeah.
And kudos to that.
I'm still writing plays.
Yeah,
I'm still
because
talking about
you're
marginalized.
still
I'm still
getting
thinking
content,
about
right?
about people that I want to think about, like who else can I write about? What else can I write about?
Lovely conversation. Let's look at some photos.
This is in Bangkok about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I was awarded the C Write Award, Southeast
Wow.
Asia Writers Award. And every year, one writer from each Southeast Asian country is picked to go to Bangkok and given the award. It's so prestigious that I didn't even think like no way. There's so many writers in Singapore who have done so much more. But then one day there's a committee or something like that. They got in touch with me and they said, hey, you are this year's Singapore winner. So usually
This is what? How do you spell it? The C.
CSEA, Southeast Asia.
Oh, okay. C Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And this?
This is
Your-
play called Being Haresh Sharma. So when Necessary Stage turned 30, we commissioned Cake Theatre
Yeah.
and our friend Natalie Hanegay to direct a play. And what she wanted to do was she wanted to take texts from my past plays and put them into a new kind of form. And so they insisted on calling it Being Haresh Sharma.
And this?
So this is when I got the cultural medallion.
Wow. This is the goat, right?
That was such a amazing time. And so I invited my father to the ceremony, and so we took a picture together.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Was he effusive in his praise, or was he just like
No,
great.
he was.
great?
This I was invited to give a workshop at the Apple at Orchard, and they have a series called Today at Apple, and so they invited me to give a talk on script writing. So at first I was a little bit nervous because I'm like, Apple workshops are very hands on, and they said, do you want to use the iPad and do all these kind of things and technology? They can write on their iPad. They can write. I will give them scenes to write, but I don't need my own iPad to do anything. A lot of people, and
are
sometimes they
there-
just will happen to be there and they just sat down.
Are there
Yeah.
many budding playwrights?
There are actually a lot more. Like I could go on giving playwriting classes to young people, old people, like all kinds of people, because it's a very easy thing to do.
Yeah. But it seems that there are only the usual suspects, right? When it comes to theatre troops, right?
I mean, there are a lot of younger people.
Yeah.
So there's actually a lot happening, and not just the theatre companies, there are also other like collectives and young people forming things. So even I used to be a judge for the SYF. So they have like secondary school, they have, tertiary. 150 schools take part in the drama.
Wow.
Yeah. And they do
Wow.
performances, and a
So
lot of them.
150 performances.
Yes. Over 1 month.
150 playwrights, literally.
Some
right?
of them
Yeah.
take
Oh,
other plays. Some of
okay.
them devise. Some of
Okay.
them take local plays.
Yeah.
But the fact that they from that age, they
sure.
want to create something. They want to share something with the audience.
Yes, yes.
It's very, very
So,
exciting.
it is amazing news. I'm glad to hear it. And this?
And this was with my company, The Necessary Stage,
Okay.
at the Cultural Medallion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This one was a play? Or?
This is a play that was staged at the Esplanade a couple of years ago, called 3 Years in the Life and Death of Land. It's
3 years in the...
Life and Death of Land.
Did you write this play?
Yeah, I wrote the
Okay.
play, yeah.
What's it about? It's such an intriguing title.
I know. It's got a story lah. It was first written in 1994,
Okay.
and it's never been staged since then. And then last couple of years ago, Esplanade commissioned us to re-stage that work. So I kind of looked at it, edited it, and this and that, and then we finally staged it. It's kind of fun play in a sense that it's about a Chinese family and an Indian family, and they are connected because the son of the Chinese family and the daughter of the Indian family get married,
Okay.
and then the interconnections of what happens as a result of that. And then it's a bit kooky because I also have characters such as a cat, a ghost, a mosquito. So these are the peripheral characters who live in that in those apartments.
Yeah.
So
Very
they have a
real.
cat.
Mosquitoes and cats.
Yeah, so you can see the cat is dressed up
Yeah.
in all black.
Okay.
And it's fun. It was like a family kind of a play, but it's got I wanted to have also different types of characters.
So you wrote this in 1993.
94.
That's amazing. It's just interracial marriage, right? During those days, it was like, oh my goodness. But
Yeah.
nowadays, it's pretty common,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's true.
Wow. Again, you're prescient. Yeah. Okay, and what is this that you sent across?
This is
Plays for schools.
yeah. One of the things that I'm very fortunate is that I work with the Necessary Stage. I've been working with Necessary Stage for many years. And so every once in a while we publish. And this is one of our publications. These are some of the plays that we have staged that are for young people.
So Our Boys and the Beanstalk you wrote, is it? Or
They're all my plays.
you wrote Hamlet.
Yes, they're all adaptations.
All adaptations.
So Our Boy and the
okay.
Beanstalk is an adaptation.
I get it.
of-
Hamlet is an adaptation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
So I'm very curious about Hamlet. Did you write Hamlet as Singaporean or what was it? Was it still
I wrote
Prince of
it-
Denmark? Or
I wrote it as a play for young people.
that was an amazing conversation I had with you, Haresh.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna cook. I'm gonna cook. You can
Okay.
help me.
Okay.
And then we'll come out and chat some more.
Okay, great.
All right. I know you're into clean eating, right? So decided to cook you Teochew cuisine.
Okay.
Teochew cuisine is famous for being very clean, very straightforward in its cooking techniques, highlighting the flavors of the product itself.
Great.
Right? Okay, let's see how it goes.
Okay.
Let's let's a bit of soy sauce, just a bit.
It's like steamed fish, that kind.
Yeah, we're steaming fish. You're right. A bit of sugar. Just a bit of sugar. I'll mix this. goes over the fish, over this fish. Chinese rice wine.
Okay.
Okay.
What fish is this?
These are white pomfret. Best,
Oh.
the king of steamed fish. We have some salted vegetables to take away any strong aromas from the product. Like fish sometimes tend to have very strong aroma, right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason. Preserved plums. What do you usually eat at home? Do you cook?
I mean, I'm a lazy cook.
Okay.
I use like maybe a jar
Okay.
if I want to make a pasta,
Okay.
or maybe use a packet if I want to make like a,
Okay.
mee goreng or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very,
So-
very Singaporean lazy kind of cooking. lah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's all right. That's all right. Hey, a properly prepared mee goreng from packet is amazing. You know, not easy to prepare. No, there are some people who specialize in
Yeah,
that.
so I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, you buy the meat, the yellow meat,
Yeah.
and then you buy the vegetables and the tofu and everything,
okay.
but you just throw everything in the wok. Then
Absolutely.
use a packet sauce or something, then okay lah. I feel like the time it takes to cook should be shorter than, should be shorter than time it takes to eat.
I totally disagree with that. I totally and absolutely disagree with that.
So I batch cook as
totally. Okay.
So in the 20 minutes that I cook,
Okay.
it will last me like 4 meals.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm not going to spend 1.5 hours and then like 10 minutes later it's gone.
Okay. Okay, I should have just given you Maggie mee from
I
a
know.
packet.
I will be very happy with Maggie mee from a packet.
Okay, all right. So tomatoes, some ginger has gone on top. Now, just a touch of sesame oil, and then some fresh fish stock.
From 19th century Teochew migrants came a cuisine defined by purity and skill. In Singapore, Teochew steamed fish preserves identity through delicate flavors.
I'll be stir frying a vegetable for you.
I've got vegetables.
Yeah, healthy, right?
Not just that, it's like that's a lot.
Are you in the midst of writing a play now?
Yes.
Okay.
Or rewriting. I'm working with Art Dis.
Okay.
Don't know if you heard of them. It's an organization that used to be called Very Special Arts,
Okay.
and they have programs for disabled artists.
Oh, I've seen
So,
that before. Yeah.
So I've been mentoring this girl.
Okay.
It's not girl, she's a woman. And I'm working with her on a project which is a collaboration between Art Days and The Necessary Stage. What veg is this?
This is Chinese watercress. Now we'll add in some stock. A bit of soy sauce. Bit of white pepper. And a bit of sugar.
I choose watercress to pair with the fish. Its gentle bitterness and crisp texture refresh the palate, bringing harmony to the dish's clean, tangy flavors.
Like, I probably get very confused with all the sauces. If I'm cooking, I'll like...
Hey, you're not the
probably
only
put the
one,
wrong
man.
one.
You're not the only one. I get confused as well. Nice. Okay, very clean flavors. Okay, we're done with this. Okay. Okay, we are actually done. You can go outside and we'll wait for the thing to get ready and we'll serve it. Haresh, hope you're hungry.
I
So
am.
this is typical Teochew cuisine. It's clean. The flavors are, off the produce itself. You saw how I cooked it, right?
Yeah.
Didn't add too many
Yeah.
things, right?
No, but
Like-
this is the best kind of food, right?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's
It's
just
healthy.
what it is.
It's healthy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put some rice for you.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Just a little bit will be fine. Okay.
Is that fine?
Yeah, there's more than enough. You cook so many different types of dishes. What do you normally eat on like a day-to-day basis?
Actually, on the day-to-day basis, we eat cuisine that's properly prepared. As in the days of our grandfathers, our forefathers.
Yeah.
My grandma used to cook three proper meals for us, at least 2 proper meals. I'll just leave this at the side.
Okay.
But you're supposed to eat everything together. So you want to put your
I'll just put my rice on top.
rice on top, okay? So it needs to go on top of your rice, otherwise. Now,
Because nowadays it's so easy to get food outside. People always tapao.
yeah, but it's not. If you eat it all the time, it's not really healthy because
Yeah.
restaurants need to make a buck, right? I mean, so they're
Yeah.
going to put stuff in there that's tasty, but probably not too good for the health in the long run.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially like processed food and fast
Absolutely,
food.
absolutely, and that's the thing, you see. So, and that develops into not so good health as you age because the body can't process anymore. So please, bon appetit.
Same to you.
Yeah.
Oh, this vegetable is very crunchy. So tasty.
Yeah.
Considering it's like just a few
Yeah.
sauces and ingredients and steam.
Yeah. This is the white pomfret. For steaming, nothing beats this fish. The flesh is so fine.
I can eat this every day. Like, I'm the kind that if I like something, I'll just eat it.
Right. But it's actually easy to prepare. I mean, I'm one to talk because I cook all the time, but I just wish sometimes Singaporeans would make more of an effort because cooking well is not that difficult. you
Yeah.
know?
Thank you. Yeah, I guess you just have to really just invest the time and the energy.
Yeah. So if you don't cook, then it becomes lost art, right? So because the older generation, the aunties and the mums, they cook very well, and then the daughters don't learn anything, or the sons. It's not only the duty of the daughters; it's the sons
Yeah.
also should learn. Then you've lost it. That's
Yeah.
why I really appreciate it because some of the
you.
Singaporeans have taken it upon themselves to collate all these recipes and publish them in
Yeah.
books. At least, it's not as good as learning firsthand as
Yeah.
to how to cook it, but at least, somebody reading the book can make a couple of mistakes initially, but
Yeah.
sort of get it right.
No, but at least there is still that generation, like our parents or grandparents,
Yeah.
where they still have their recipe books, where they write down everything.
Yeah.
And those things are quite
They're,
priceless.
they're priceless. They're priceless. Cheers! Yummy Teochew food.
Watch HOTPLATE SG60.
Yum.
A light Teochew fish, a snap of wok-fried watercress, embraced by deeper questions. Haresh reminds us, real harmony isn't parades or polite silence. It's the guts to ask hard questions and the grace to listen across race, class and creed. I'm Chris Choo, and this is HOTPLATE SG60.